So all of us, at least Jeremy and myself, have known each other for a pretty good amount of time. We played in a lot of bands that played kind of adjacent to each other in the early 2000s. And Jeremy and I, over time, became really good friends. And we have been trying to start a project together for, no joke, probably the last 10 years. And it was multiple start and stop failed attempts. We tried and we would do a practice or two and then everybody would fall apart. As you age and you become older, you realize like, oh, the hardest part about being in a band is logistically figuring things out. So we would start with a couple guys who would be like, oh, this is okay, and then we'd never see them again. And we did this for years in a row. And finally, a couple years ago, Jeremy, again, he's like, look, this is a last-ditch effort. I know this cool guy named Phil. He plays guitar, or he's a drummer, but he wants to play guitar. Let's just try this one more fucking time. And I was again going like, all right, this is probably going to be another one of those one or two and done. And he sent me some songs, and I was like, hey, I like this. It's kind of like a weird blend of a bunch of things we grew up listening to, and it's got a little bit of like this doomy kind of crusty kind of like southern tinge to it, in addition to the stuff we grew up listening to. So we tried it. The three of us got into a room, and for some fucking reason, it worked. And the dream of starting a band with Jeremy, after I've known him for close to probably 15 years, finally came to fruition. And eventually we found Chris after auditioning like 3 or 4 really good bassists. Chris is so good that he showed up to practice after we had the recordings. We'd been playing for like a year and a half. He shows up and he knows the songs better than us, and lo and behold, since then he's been in the band. So it all kind of came together like that.
Lyrically, I guess, more like what my stuff is about is, you know, it's about depression. It's about talking about, you know, your depression, not kind of holding that in. We need to be a little bit more open and honest kind of about that stuff, about kind of what's going on politically. There's definitely a lot of political stuff. You know, I talk a little bit about death. I talk about addiction. Talk about that whole thing of where would I have been if I would have made these choices in my life, which I think everybody kind of goes through, and we always think about it in a certain way of, oh, if I just would have changed this thing, oh, but I couldn't because then I wouldn't have met these people. But really, if you got that chance over, you never would have fucking met those people anyway. So it's, we can't think of it abstractly like that. So there's a little bit of that. There's, you know, religion and anti-religion, I guess I would say.
I hope that there are a cross-section of younger people that they feel like people like us don't understand what they're going through.
True.
We definitely understand. So if they like our band, they like the music, they pay attention to the lyrics, they're like, listen, you're not alone. You guys are suffering as we did when we were your age.
Right.
It's just a different set of struggles, different political climate, but kind of the same too. It's the fucking game that they play constantly that we've all grown up with. So if there's a young person out there that's like, man, I like this band, I can relate, I understand, they realize that, hey, we're a little older, but we get it. So hey, don't feel, you know, don't get depressed. Try to pick yourself up a little bit, because we know there's people, you're not alone. There's people out there that know what you're going through.
This shit, so.
Yeah, we're not, it's like talking to them instead of talking down.
Yeah.
Like it's a way to kind of...
They deal with older folks that just don't even want to understand what they're going through.
And I think that's a lesson you learn too once you get to our point. Is our point in life, it's like, oh, everybody was saying things, wasn't trying to tell me what to do, or they weren't trying to be an asshole to me. They literally understood, and you only understand when you get to that point. So if you can simplify it for the next group, kind of tell them like, hey, look, like this isn't us trying to control what you're doing or to say that you don't know what life is like. It's literally us trying to save you from some of the grief that we've gone through. Yeah. And it's easier to do that with art and music than it is just going, hey, young people, I've gone through your struggles.
No,
why don't
we're
you
not
listen to what we
preaching
have
to
to say?
them.
Hello, fellow you.
We're not preaching to them. We're not telling them what they should do or not do, but they can look at us from across the room, make eye contact, and be like, hey, I get it. I know what's going on with you.
So we'll go through this now.
So let's fight this fucking battle together.
Oh, yeah.
Win or lose.
So
Yeah.